Oh, watch it, it's going to stop. Please stop. Please stop. They're slowing down. Brian, they're slowing down. Yeah, look. That's done exactly what it did in the car. That's stopped. That's good. Oh, that's mega. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back. I hope you're all well. So on the last video, you just saw that we just bought Marcus Rashford's Rolls-Royce Wraith, 700 grand car. It's all smashed up. He had an accident in it and we're going to repair it. So, you know what? That wasn't me, was it? Anyway, back to reality. So, what we were actually doing was sorting out the water leak on the F10 5 Series. We're now going back to work. As you've seen, the water leak's done. We're going to get on with the rest of the prep of that car and get it up for sale so you can see the whole journey of that car from us buying it online to getting it up for sale. Thanks for all the comments and everything on the last video. It's awesome getting all your comments. If you like that video and you like what the channel's doing, please by all means hit that subscribe button. You know, it helps us out loads. It makes me feel more special because I see that little number going up and I think, oh, people do actually like it. But other than that, we'll see you at work in a minute. So from the end of that 5 Series video, this is the next day. The 5 Series is now there, just because Brian's doing some dents on this little Mini. And he just did the dent on the door. You remember that dent on the driver's door? Well, it ain't there anymore. Look at that. Look, I've mopped it yet and it looks like glass already. Mega. He's done a good job on that. Thanks, Brian. Now he's doing my little part exchange Mini. So when I was editing the last video, I realised, man, I know I go on too much and that was long, wasn't it? So, but sort of if you've got one of these and that, you know, that might help you with doing that bung. But I want to try and skip a few stages on this because one, it is nearly 1 o'clock and this has got to be MOT'd at 3 o'clock. We've got to fix this heater problem. So you can remember the last time we took that cover off and we took that off to expose the top of the heater motor. Now the way I see this, usually with cars and electrical problems and things that stop working, yes, they can be a massive minefield if they just stop working like that. But this didn't do that. When I bought this car, this heater motor worked for a tiny little amount of time and it slowed down, then it got noisy, then it stopped. When it does that, that's more of something wearing out rather than something being a fault, because if it just doesn't work full stop, that can be a real problem. You've got to start checking fuses, you've got to check feeds. I mean, it can get really complicated. You can have CAN bus problems, but this one didn't do that. So I've taken a bit of a gamble, because the way I see this, if the motor just stopped turning slowly, I think the motor's just worn out. If it was a resistor problem, it would work on full power and full power only. It doesn't do that. It doesn't work at all. So I've just ordered a new motor. As you can see, here, nice new one in there. And we're going to skip a few stages. There was all screws all around the base here. The wiring went over the top, which is now loose, because after about half an hour of struggling and swearing a lot, which couldn't have been on film anyway, I've taken it all out. So we're going to do this a real quick way, because this cover, after the wiring goes on there, this cover, which is all dirty, which I've got to clean all of that because it's a bit dusty, we'll hoover that out. But that sits on the top there. Then you've got a cover here, which I have already taken out, as you can see. Better and it speed things up a bit. There's the blower motor, which had a screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there. Took them screws out. Quite heavy. There. Oh, I need 3 hands. There is the blower motor body with the wiring loom attached to it. Guessing I've got to split all that body apart, but whilst that's out, I want to quickly do something. And what I've done here, you're going to have to excuse the levels of my professionalism in this little experiment. It's not the best looking. Wiring's not the best. I made up like a little test circuit to see what's going on with this blower motor, the original one off the car. Let me see if I can put this down here. Hold on. Right, there you go. Hopefully you can see that. See Brian's feet in the background. Might need you in a minute, Brian. If I can now hopefully, if the world was a happy place, I would now link this up, and it is either going to, it's either going to spin for a little while and then stop, or it's not going to spin at all. I don't want it to spin happily and everything be all right. Oh, that's actually spinning faster than I was hoping it was going to. Do that again. Oh, watch it, it's going to stop. Please stop, they're slowing down. Brian, they're slowing down. Yeah, look, that's done exactly what it did in the car. That's stopped. That's good. Oh, that's mega. Now it won't work at all. Yeah, that's good. That means my blower's motor is faulty. Oh, that's mega. You know what, just for argument's sake, so it's been a couple of minutes now. Let's see if it's, I mean, is it breaking down inside? Is it, I don't know. Let me hold this on here again. Oh, the wire's come a bit untwangled. Let me put that in there. See what it does this time. Oh, Brian, can I borrow your finger just for 2 seconds? Can you just spin that? Can you just spin that blower? See if it goes round. Just. Oh, there goes it. See how long it lasts this time. That's just worn out, isn't it? So if you've got a Brian under the bonnet the whole time, you're all right, aren't you? Can you just spin it again? That's slowing down again. Oh, so good. That's broke. Love it. So now I know that blower motor is faulty. I'm going to quickly get my new one out the box and swap them over. So we'll split this casing in half and we'll come back in a minute when I've done it. And there we go, look, new one's in. Nice. See, what I probably really should have done is just tested this new one. I know it's brand new, but I probably should have tested this before it goes in. But that one's faulty. I've got to get the car back together anyway. I'm just going to assume that life is good and that's fine. So let's get it all back together. So if you're sitting at home or wherever you're sitting watching this thinking, yeah, I've got an F10 and the blower motor doesn't work on my car anymore, I would definitely suggest giving it a go. It's really not that complicated. It's only a matter of the plastic body on top of this body and just a matter of screws all around the outside. The body that I'm putting back now is just a recirculation flap with the little valve and the little wiring loom that goes over the top of it, and then it's just a matter of screws to put it back in. It's really not that complicated. If you've got one with a dodgy blower motor, give it a go yourself. So, just chucked the little Mini out because everything on the car now, heater wise, is connected up to a point of I can now get in here. Ugh. So I'll turn the ignition on, but I won't start it. I know the ignition's on. Now this is where I turn this up. Do you know what? Let's go straight in for, I know. Let's go straight in for the demister. Hey! That's a bit more like it, isn't it? Good times. Right, let's put it back together. So there we are. Here we come, just putting the top cover back on. That's the cover with that little foam filter that sort of filters the air going into the top of the blower motor. We put that back on, put the screws on around the outside, put this strut brace looking thing back on because that sort of prevents the cover from coming out in the first place. and then we're all done. Do that up, and there we go. It's all back together. It's all a little bit dusty under there again, but I mean, we're going to have to clean it again anyway. It's covered in dust again. So we just got that back together in time. Now I've got to quickly take it for MOT, and then we can start prepping the body and get it looking new and hopefully get it sold. Good times. Well, here we are back from MOT. Oh, she's got a bit grubby, bless her. But, let me get out of the wind. I've just had a phone call from Mark at Hemmingstone Garage saying that the little red Diesel 1 Series is done and is ready to collect. Now, I was just going to get onto that, give it a wash after its MOT and start prepping that, but it's 4 o'clock, just gone. I can get to Hemmingstone. It's about a 35-minute drive away. I can get there and back, pick up the little red 1 Series just so it's here so we can start getting onto that, and then get back on the F10 tomorrow, or maybe even later on today. I don't know. We'll probably end up getting back onto that tomorrow. I'm going to go and get the red 1 Series. You know what? I got back in quite good time. There's a little 1 Series sitting there. It started pouring with rain. So as it was wet anyway, I got my jet wash out. We gave her a wash. Another quick snow foam. I don't know how many times I've washed this car. But I thought if I give it a wash, then it'll all be drained down by the morning. And then we'll crack on in the morning. Well, in typical Kev style, cracking on in the morning didn't happen again. We've had a few cars go out, got a few empty spaces now. And it is now Saturday afternoon, nearly 4:45, and I'm only now getting back onto the F10. So here's what we're going to do. We've got different areas, different patches on this car, which needs different attention for different mops, different mop heads, and different compounds. Now, as you can see on this, I mean, there's some shocking areas there, which will need a fairly heavy compound, but the rest of it is fairly just sort of normal cloudiness, which will only need maybe a medium compound, maybe even a mixture of both on a medium pad. But there are patches that are going to need a fairly sort of heavy compound, and I know there's a scratch. There's a scratch there, as you can see. I've got to try and get that out with compound. There's some marks underneath the fuel filler, which are probably from keys, as you can see, when that's exactly what it is, because you go like that. I don't know why they're there, so I'm going to get them out. And unfortunately, unbeknown to me, that's when my microphone went flat and there isn't any audio for the rest of this clip. Now, when I was going back editing it, I realised it. So instead of, I mean, I probably walked around talking a bit more, probably saying what I was going to do, boring people, I would imagine. So instead of listening to me saying all that stuff, we'll fast forward this clip and then we'll crack on with what I did anyway. So here I am, as you just saw, just sprayed my quick detailer on the back side of the wings and the front of the doors so I could give it a little bit of a clay bar to make sure there was no contaminants on the paintwork before I start mopping it. Then I'll go round 2 under the bonnet with this is my black dressing. It pretty much just makes all of the black stuff underneath the bonnet of a car black, but it makes a massive difference to it just looking dusty, especially with a BM. So it's got so much black covers on there, you'll see in a minute there's just a difference it looks when it's all done. Let's go, there you go, look at that, it looks brand new again. There's no jet washing under there, no water, it's just that black dressing. So then we come along and we get onto the body. You can see me doing the scratch on that driver's side rear door. I have got a heavy compound on here with my firm mop head, and you have to hit it pretty hard if you're not going to wet flat it, which I didn't want to do. So I hit it pretty hard. I mean, yeah, it got quite hot, but you'll see in a minute that it did get rid of that scratch without me having to wet flat it, which as far as I'm concerned is a little bit better if you don't have to flat it. There you go, look. There you go, it's gone. And then I came back here and I did exactly the same thing on the quarter panel. You have to make sure that so here with my mop, I'm just covering the area whilst the mop is rotating very slowly to make sure that there's compound on the whole panel. Then I will speed up the mop and obviously get the heat into it to make sure that it cuts, which is exactly what I did here. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Just that pass there made the scratches so much better. So then I end up doing the complete quarter panel exactly the same way, not quite as intense as when I've got to get a scratch out of it, but the car just sort of needed it. You'll see in a moment that I compare it to the top of the door and the quarter, which is exactly what you can see, which is why I just have to do it. You know, it almost looks a different colour. There's no swirls, there's no scratches. You look when I come to the top of the door, it will look almost opaque compared to that. Look at the colour difference, look, the scratches on the surface. So because that looked so good, I decided to do it to the whole car. Heavy compound, firm mop head, went round the whole entire car. So the next stage, I tried cheating a little bit and I used a medium mop head with a medium compound and a light finishing compound on the same mop head, so you almost get a cocktail of compound. And then in a moment, I'll show you that I put it on the panel, so I cover it with polish first. Hold on. There you go, so you could see that I cover the panel to make sure the entire bit of the panel which I'm about to mop is covered. So it never dries out pretty much, so the mop shouldn't ever get too hot, as long as you keep the mop moving. Then I'll buff it off, obviously, and pretty much look to see what it looks like. And then I'll go around the whole car and do that to every single panel. Usually when you're doing a 3-stage on a car, you would then put a really soft mop head on your mop with a finishing compound to take out any little holograms. That's what I should have done really, but I've sort of cheated a little bit here. But you know what, there wasn't a single hologram or a single swirl in any of the paintwork on the car, so I decided to just skip it. I need to hurry things up a little bit, we all know that, I think. I did, however, decide to put a nano wax on the entire car just to protect the work that I've done really. You know, the cars get quite dusty around here. We all know that I'm going to end up cleaning this car another couple of times before someone comes and looks at it, so hopefully that nano wax will just protect the work that I've done a little bit and not get too scratched the next few times that I end up washing it. We'll see. Then we start getting onto the final stages of outside of this car. I think in a minute we hopefully end up putting new centre caps on it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I thought we did. New centre caps all around the car. I'd already done the offside front one, I don't know why, but I end up putting the rest of them on, so it's got new centre caps through the entire of the car. It makes it look so much nicer. Then, as far as I'm concerned, the most important step of detailing any car, which is make sure that it's got clean tyres. It's all about clean tyres. I've always said it on my channel. It's the most important stage of any car as far as I'm concerned. And then after finishing the exterior glazing clean, we end up getting onto the inside. We're on a home stretch now, people. Don't forget to get your little detail and brush out so you can get all them nooks and crannies. No one wants to buy a car with 90% of someone else's old skin in between the dashboard and in between the iDrive and the gear stick. So make sure you get your brush in there, make sure you get all of them little nooks and crannies to make sure it's all nice and clean. So then I start getting onto the interior with my all-purpose cleaner. Now, if you want to see a bit more of an in-depth demo of this all-purpose cleaner on leather, go back and watch one of my videos called the products I use for my sales cars. But just make sure you don't let it run. You can't let it run. That's why I wipe it with my hand like what you just saw me. I think I'll do a little bit of a demo. Hold on. You know what? I wasn't going to do it on this seat. I was going to do it all together in the car. But whilst this seat is out, I'm now about to put it back, and it started with my all-purpose cleaner has started reacting. If I take it down, you can see where it started cutting into the dirt on this seat. But what if I take it down halfway? So you can see the bit that I've cleaned and the bit that I haven't done. It starts eating into the dirt that has got into the creases in every tiny little bit of the leather. And then when you wipe it clean, so look at the difference there. Obviously, I haven't done there. You can see the dirt that is starting to gather on the seat. But look at the difference of that panel there. Look. So that, I mean, that bit's like new again. Look at the dirt gathering. Mega. It's a lot easier to clean the seats when they're not in the car. Let's just finish that one quickly. That's the back bit done. See now, you look at the backrest compared to the dirtiness of that. I mean, that looks like brand new again, doesn't it? Mega. The only thing I would say is once you've done that to your leather, if you do it to the rest of your car, you really want to treat the leather afterwards with something, because that all-purpose cleaner, that will take all of the protection out of that leather. That is now very bare. So you want to put a leather treatment back on it to feed the leather so it doesn't dry it out. But that's it. I'll just get the rest of the seats done. I mean, the driver's seat is pretty bad. I'm going to do the bench seat whilst it's over there, just before I put it back in from the water leak. But I mean, this car, the inside of this car is going to look like brand. It's going to be such a lovely car. Let's crack on. So for the final stages, here I am putting the same dressing that I used under the bonnet of this car on the dashboard. I will do every single black part of the interior of this car with this dressing, because it literally just makes it look brand new. It feeds it at the same time. There's no disadvantages to it. It doesn't make it slimy, it doesn't make it all slippery or sticky. It just makes it look like brand new. So I use it all over. Awesome stuff. Then I come round and do the insides of the glazing, where I've probably got some of that plastic dressing all over it at the bottom. So we do the inside of the glass, then we'll put the carpet mats back in that we'd already jet washed, put the paper mats over them. Don't forget the new number plates front and rear, because one, I like to have our business name on number plates of the cars that we sell, especially the lovely ones, but a new set of number plates always makes a car look amazing. And then we're pretty much done. Oh, well, there she is. She's all done. Doesn't she look lovely? What a good looking car. Have I spent too much time on this car? Yeah, I have. We all know I have. I'm more than happy for you to put in the comments, Kev, what are you doing? How can you spend so much time on one car? The truth is that I don't really know how I can spend so long on one car. But look at what it looks like now. I think that you're going to be fairly hard pushed to find another F10 520D in the country which is nice as this. Oh, hold on, telephone. Sorry about that. Claire's not here at the moment because the little ones are off school on Easter break, so I had to get the phone. But here we are. What a beautiful car. Look how straight the thing is. Down the side of it, look. Wow. Nice car. Oh, hold on, I haven't done the slow moving camera music-y bit. Hold on. Wow, there she is. It's all done. Do you know what? I should be taking it outside, but it's trying to rain outside. The wind's blowing a gale. Because the leaves have just come out on the trees, like you get them little seeds that sort of every single leaf pops out a little seed, and it's absolutely decimating my cars. I can't handle that going out there tonight. So I think I'm going to put it out there tomorrow and take some proper pictures of it tomorrow. But I mean, it's a weird one, this car. All the work we've had to do on this car, we haven't had to do none of the normal stuff that you would have to do. We haven't had to do an engine service because it was done just before we bought it. We haven't had to do no brakes. We haven't had to do no tyres. None. It was a weird car. This was. All of that time has only been spent on the water leak, the heater motor, and making it look shiny. I don't know, but it's a nice car now. I'm glad it's all done. So, thanks for watching this, everyone. Hit that subscribe button if you like what's going on. Hit that like button, give us a little thumbs up. I've got to go and get on with the next one. So I will bid you a nice weekend. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.